His MVP. Golf swing, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Swing. Drive. It's tied. Smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Good again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Another edition of Right on Rangers Live coming at you after a series win, a 1-0 victory, a little deja vu from yesterday. We'll take it. Rangers on a happy flight home to Arlington. Day off tomorrow, and the Rangers will then face the Rays, a little home series coming up. Good stuff, man. 5-2 after 7 games. Not a whole lot more you could ask for. Yes, we can be a little bit picky, and we probably will be on the show today, I'm sure, naturally, as it goes on. But hard to complain too much when you're 5-2. Am I right? All right, let's get into it. Of course, here at Right on Rangers, we cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers, and especially the Rangers during the MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Looking forward to hearing all of your comments, getting questions. Definitely, we're going to talk about Jack Leiter today. I think that's a great starting point. Jack Leiter definitely surprising me. I feel like I've got to eat a little crow. I mean, we're early on in the season. It's been 2 games. I definitely don't want to do anything to demean what we've seen out of Jack Leiter so far this year, which is ace-worthy stuff. I mean, I know he's only gone 5 innings each time out, but you're talking about 10 innings pitched, 1 earned run in Major League Baseball. I think anybody would be impressed with that. Jack Leiter was phenomenal today. 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed, nearly took a perfect game into the 5th inning. That was wild. I thought back-to-back days, Evo went 4 perfect innings. I thought Jack Leiter was about to do it again. Another big stat, 0 walks for Jack. 0 walks for Jack Leiter. Really, really impressive. I definitely was not expecting this kind of start from him. I can't sit here and say I called it in any way, shape, or form. This start surprised me from Jack. I know he had a great spring. That doesn't always carry over and mean anything of significance going into the Major League season. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I do truly feel like it's kind of a crapshoot. You have a guy hitting 350 in spring training. It doesn't always mean that he's going to be hitting 350 after the first week of the season. Same thing with pitchers. I mean, we saw Luke Jackson game 1 look a little shaky. I actually feel like he's kind of mellowed out a little bit and locked it in a bit more. And we're hopefully going to see an extended period of good stuff from Luke Jackson. But those are some of the examples. I think Jack is overperforming at this point, and you love to see it. I hope that it's something that he can sustain. Look, 5 innings, no earned runs isn't something that's going to happen every time out. But I would be thrilled if he could be right underneath 4 for his ERA, maybe be in the 3.75 to 4 range. I mean, I don't need the guy to be sub 3 this year. That would be phenomenal. But just give me something sub 4. I think a lot of people would be really, really happy with that. Jack Leiter definitely not expected to be one of the aces of this staff coming into 2025, but making his presence known, that's for sure. And I think all Rangers fans are very, very glad to see it. Let me get into comments and questions and all that good stuff. I'm going to try and switch back and forth as much as I can. Mike, what's good? I totally agree. Just keep winning series. till everybody's back healthy. I mean, we look at this offense, you're missing Josh Young. Josh Young's a great hitter. Josh Young started the All-Star game a year and a half ago. Josh Young's a phenomenal hitter, exceptional hitter. Having him back in the lineup will help a ton. And then you think about the other injuries that Texas has as well. There are other guys out right now that definitely would make a big impact. Not having Josh Young, look, you didn't have Corey Seager today either. Those are two big bats out of the lineup. I mean, Corey Seager, routine maintenance day for him, I'm sure, as usually is the case on the last day of a series, depending on the series, of course. Corey Seager out today wasn't totally shocking. I did wonder if maybe they'd give Marcus Semien a day off, but didn't end up happening. And Simi actually did come through with the hit today, so good for him. Really good for him. And I don't know if that means it's the start of him getting out of his slump or not, but I absolutely think maybe at this point, any positivity is a good thing for Marcus. Let's get back to the original point, though. When this lineup is totally healthy, it is a different look. I'm a little bit worried. 1-0 back-to-back. I mean, look, it's great in the sense of you got two gems from Evo and Leiter on consecutive days, but 1 run scored back-to-back games for this offense. Look, when you win, it's a luxury to be able to talk about stuff like this and not be having a total meltdown. And look, if the Rangers would have lost 5-1 each one of these days, you can imagine what the conversations would be right now. I mean, the luxury of winning is you get to be a little tough on the little things that aren't working. In this case, I don't know if the offense only scoring 2 runs in 2 games can really be considered little, but you just keep hoping they can find a way to break through. And look, I am totally of the mindset, because I'm seeing a few of y'all say it right now, like it doesn't matter when you win, right? That's the expression. I just win. I mean, let me push back a little bit. We're not going to be saying that when they only score 1 run and we lose. So I hear what you're saying. Just win. But let's be clear. The Rangers haven't scored more than 4 runs in a ball game this year. So I think there is a bigger problem here. Had the Rangers been totally crushing it offensively, and then they have these back-to-back 1-run games, I think I feel a little better saying just win. I mean, when you're only scoring a max of 4 runs through your first 7 games, I think that there's a little bit of a bigger issue. I don't know if you can really deny that at this point. I agree. I'm glad they got the win. I'm going to enjoy back-to-back series wins. Impressive. You lose the first game of each of these series to open up the season, and you get the win. I mean, the Boston one was even more impressive, losing game 1 and then winning 3 in a row. This one, you lose Monday, and then you win back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday. Excellent. Excellent. I do agree. I know that y'all on TikTok can't see all the comments from YouTube and whatnot, but Austin, what's good, man? Austin says this offense needs at least 1 breakout game this weekend. We said that in Cincinnati, didn't we? We were like, man, this offense needs to have a big day at a hitter-friendly ballpark in Cincinnati, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. The Rangers scored 5 runs in 3 games. That's not good. That's not good. Mike, is this true? I didn't see reports about Seager. Look, work day today for me. Haven't had a chance to read through all of the tweets and all the posts from all the reporters. It was hard enough paying attention to the game itself and then also doing my job, getting stuff done today around work. But I definitely feel a little bit better if that was the case. I mean, maybe. I think there's multiple ways to look at this. I'm glad that the Rangers are able to get a win without Seager today. But at the same time, it's a little concerning that he's asking for time off. Dave Raymond said it. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. So maybe something to watch here. Clearly, Corey Seager to begin the season was not 100%. Clearly not 100% to begin the year. I absolutely think that Corey Seager is still dealing with something. The calf, I'm sure, is still a bit of an issue. And he doesn't quite look like himself. We talked about it on the show yesterday. He just doesn't look quite in a groove yet with his timing. doesn't look quite comfortable up there at the plate. So maybe the back-to-back days off, Wednesday, Thursday, will be helpful for Corey. And then we'll see him on Friday night ready to crush it against the Rays. That's got to be the plan. Got to be. Aaron, what's up, man? If you're still hanging out, I agree, looking good, but absolutely we need more offense. Need more offense. Roger, what's good? Torpedo bats coming soon. Don't worry. The torpedo bats. Wouldn't that be funny? Like we get half the lineup using torpedo bats and suddenly just crushing it. All right, let's keep going here. Jack's confidence, easy confidence on the mound that impresses me. Sharp contrast from previous years. And look, he only had, 4 or 5 games last year? Like maybe 6 games. It wasn't that many games. Really small sample size. He did look comfortable today, I must admit. Had the game on mute for a considerable amount of time. But just looking at the body language, he did look like, especially in that 4th, 5th inning, just in a groove. So I do agree. The confidence does seem to be a lot higher this year. It makes sense. I mean, you got more major league experience. You got a whole offseason knowing that you were going to get a solid shot. Spring training, got a lot of time in spring training. So look, good. I'm glad. That should be what's happening with Jack Leiter the more and more he ends up playing in the big leagues. All right, we keep going. All right, let me see here. The pitching and the bullpen are our strongest asset. What's going on? Strongest offense. Sorry about that. I mean, either way, I think it works. But yeah, John, I can't believe that the pitching is carrying the team like this. I really can't. I think that the pitching, you thought to yourself, Evo, DeGrom, there were some guys with potential, but everybody had questions about the bullpen. So to have the pitching be carrying us to this point, definitely not something that I expected at all. Cinci wasn't supposed to play originally. That would make a lot of sense to me. Now we're piecing it all together. I mean, if Cinci wasn't supposed to play, then you had Siegs coming and asking to take off. That makes sense to me. It would have been a great day to give Marcus a day off after the struggles that he's had. It was nice to see him with that line drive single over the shortstop set today. That is the Cinci that we know and love. I really hope something got unlocked today. I know it's only one hit, but I really hope this is the start of something for Marcus. He get the day off tomorrow, kind of a day where he's forced to think about it a little bit and hopefully just get his mind cleared and get back on track on Friday. Is Jack's blister a concern? Natalie, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. I don't think that the blister is a big concern. They said that he could have pitched through it. Maybe there's been an update since then, but at the time, the reporters were coming out saying he could have pitched through it, not a big concern. But with the health issues that the Rangers pitching staff has had thus far, I really don't know that you wanted to push it. And the bullpen was rested today. It really did make total sense to me. Made a lot of sense to me. Hey, the Rangers got their very first caught stealing of the year on defense. No, it wasn't a catcher. Chris Martin stepping off, firing it to second. I'm not sure what Jake Fraley was doing there, what he saw, but Rangers will take their first caught stealing however they can get it. However they can get it. It is kind of funny to me that the first caught stealing is thanks to a pitcher, not one of our 2 catchers. Look, 12 for 12 were opposing would-be stolen base runners. And coming into this game, we all had said how much of a problem it was. And I think it's going to continue to be an issue. There's not a lot that I'm seeing that gives me hope that the Rangers are really going to be able to rectify this issue. You've got a really, really bad 2024 track record with Jonah Heim. I'd have to look at Kyle Higashioka's numbers, what his numbers were against the steal. I'll try and look it up for y'all on the fly right now, see if good old baseball ref will do us some good here. But Jonah Heim's numbers were not great. I mean, were not great at all. So I'm just glad that we break the 12 for 12. Now would be stolen base runners 12 for 13. We'll take it. I mean, we'll take anything we can get at this point in the stolen base department. All right. Baseball ref for Kyle Higashioka. Let's see what I can find here. Fielding, advanced stats. I don't know if it's going to be an advanced stat. So much on baseball refs sometimes. It is so hard sometimes to track down everything. We're going to try. Shoot. Let's see. I think the caught stealing percentage last year was 20%, it says, for Higgy. 65 total attempts against Higgy, 13 caught stealings. Sorry about that. Trying to read through it. So I don't know how good we feel. 20% is better than what Jonah Heim did. Look, the base thing, the base is getting bigger, all that stuff. It does make a little bit of a difference, but you'd really love to see that caught stealing up a little bit higher, maybe around 25, 30%. I'd love to know what's the best number in the league or what the best number in the league was last year. I'll see if I can figure that out because honestly, y'all, I really don't have a great number to compare it to. Best stolen base percentage for catchers in 2024. Let's see what we come up with here. The throwing leaderboard on Baseball Savant. Here we go. See if we can get it. Let's see. But come on. Attempts. Give me total attempts here. What are we doing? Oh, it's 2025. That's why. Let's go to 2024. What is the best rate here? Sorry, y'all. Thanks for thanks for dealing with me looking this up on the fly. I appreciate you. All right. I might not be able to get to it. It looks like it was Will Smith that like caught stealing percentage. Will Smith was up there. So 30s seems to be kind of like the higher end. You had Will Smith at 31% last year. You had Carson Kelly at 29%. I feel like Carson had a rough go, though, too. I don't know. All right. Enough of that. Let me get back to y'all. So here we go. With other comments, TikTok, I'm going to get to y'all. Caleb, what's up, man? We keep going. Angels lost today. All right. I haven't looked at the scoreboard yet. Love the pitching so far, 100%. Bullpen looks solid, and I do agree. It is surprising. Very surprising. A lot of Rangers fans not so pumped about the bullpen. And here we are looking pretty good 7 games in. We had the debacle on opening day with Luke Jackson. Really, the rest of the bullpen on opening day was great. It was really just Luke Jackson. Armstrong had a little bit of a rough outing mixed in there at some point against the Red Sox. Everybody else seems to be pretty solid. Astros got swept. Is that right? Oh, my goodness. The day just got better. Let me see if I can go to scoreboard here. Now y'all got me one to look at the scoreboard right now. Let's see what we got. So we have Angels losing. Giants beat the Astros 6-3. A's lost 10-2 to the Cubs. Mariners did beat the Tigers 3-2 today. So Rangers got themselves a little 2-game lead right now. Is that what's going on? Man, you love to see it. Yep, Rangers are 2 games up. Actually, half game up on the Angels coming out of nowhere, but they lost today, so Rangers will take the half game lead. Who had the Angels? I mean, I know it's early, but Angels are 4-2, 2.5 games up on the Stros. A's have lost 4 in a row. Houston's lost 3 in a row. Shoot. Oh, Houston got off. Do y'all remember that? Houston got off to a terrible start last year and then went on an absolute run. So I don't look too much into Houston getting off to a slow start. I'm sure they'll turn it on at some point. But look, anytime you can get a win while Houston loses, huge. Absolutely huge. Was at the game today. Mark, awesome. Leiter looked good. Yeah, he did. On TV, absolutely looked great. 5-2 in hitting has been terrible. I'll take it, but the hitting's got to get going. I couldn't agree more. Our pitching don't ever look good, so hopefully they catch up to our bats. Well said. The pitching always has felt like, I think those of us that have watched the Rangers forever, we always, I think, get a little PTSD with the pitching, like in the early 2000s when it was like the 12 to 10 ball games that we were watching because the pitching was just so terrible. I mean, look, I think all of us sometimes kind of are on pins and needles, like when is the pitching just totally going to break down? But the pitching has been great so far. Enjoy it while it's lasting. While it's lasting for sure. Natalie, this is the best Jack has looked. I would have to agree. I don't think I can recall a time Jack has looked better than this. They got to figure out the bullpen. I think the bullpen's actually all right. I mean, look, Luke Jackson, he's had a couple of settled down appearances. I know he allowed the base runner today, and I know on Sunday, I believe he allowed a base runner. You're not going to go 1, 2, 3 every time, so I don't think we can hold that against him. But I actually think the bullpen's doing okay. I really think that the bullpen is going to be all right. I really like some of the pieces down there. I've talked about Hobie Milner, Robert Garcia throwing really, really well. I loved Robert Garcia's appearance today. I mean, he came in. It was a little bit of a tricky situation. You had Ezekiel Duran making a throwing error, and Garcia got right out of it. 2 Ks. He painted one of those two. I believe Ellie De La Cruz. They turned Ellie De La Cruz over to the right side. Ellie, not as good from the right side as from the left. It was actually kind of a big debate last year whether or not they were going to just have him hit lefty. At least, I don't know if that was a Reds debate, but I know that debate was going on in the baseball world because the numbers when Ellie hits from the left side are just so much better than the right side. I mean, you look at the splits in 2024, Ellie De La Cruz, lefty versus righty. 224 versus lefties, 275 versus righties. And did have some homers. I think he had 6 home runs from the right side, but just a markedly worse hitter from the right side than from the left. Left is like uber dangerous, Ellie De La Cruz. But going back to Robert Garcia, painted fastball inside part of the plate on the black. Beautiful. Robert Garcia looking really, really good. I am very pleased with what I've seen from him so far. Chris Martin looked great. Chris Martin, I think I'd really love to see him closing games. I was actually a little disappointed seeing Chris Martin in the 8th inning. I'm like, man, can we get this guy in the 9th, please? But look, it all worked out. Bruce Bochy has always been known as a master manager of that bullpen, and Mike Maddox, I think you got to give him credit as well. They're pushing a lot of the right buttons with the bullpen. I think we need to give the bullpen a little bit more slack at this point. They have really carried this team through the first 5 wins of the season. Really have. With the offense doing what it's doing, the starting rotation and the bullpen have really held this thing together. We keep going. Aaron Seeley, 1 good game, then allows 8 runs. Next game was the 2000s. Yep. Hey, good old Aaron Seeley. I remember him. No, it's not the Rangers, but what's wrong with the Braves? I don't know. They did show a graphic. It wasn't a graphic. It was a picture of the scoreboard. And like every Atlanta Braves hitter is hitting under 200. I think I saw that correctly. If it wasn't every single Braves hitter, it was like 7 out of 9 or 8 out of 9 Braves hitters in the starting lineup are hitting under 200. It made me feel a little bit better about the Rangers offense. Whoa. I mean, everybody. You had Matt Olson under 200, Ozuna's under 200, Austin Riley's under 200. Yeah, literally everybody good on that team hitting under 200 right now. Hard to explain what is going on with them. All right, we keep going. They have the Rangers projected 87 games. I think we can hit the mid-90s. John, what's up, man? I think mid-90s is definitely high end. I don't see this team sniffing 100 games. I do think they're going to be right around 93, 94, something like that. That would be my prediction. 93 wins I'm going to go with. I think this team wins 90 games. I've said that repeatedly. I think they are a team that can get 20-plus games over 500. So for me, projecting well at the moment, and the Angels perhaps overperforming a little bit right now. We know that they added some pieces. Mike Trout back and healthy. I think he hit a home run today or yesterday. So we'll see what the Angels do, but I would imagine that they have their ups and downs as the season goes along. Rangers in a good spot out there with the AL West. The Mariners still having trouble scoring runs. We know that they've got some dangerous guys in the rotation, but the offense still does not look up to the task. Look, regardless of the Arozarena addition and some of the other things they did to try and make the offense better, not an offense that I really fear by and large. One of the worst offenses in baseball last year was Seattle. Astros, I think, are going to be dangerous. I see the Astros making the wild card. I think Rangers will take the West. Astros probably sneak into a wild card spot. So we'll see what happens. AL West is going to be interesting this year, no doubt. Definitely going to be an interesting ride. What else? Let's see. I had a few other talking points I want to get to. Let me get to the box score, and I'll keep taking your comments right now. Richard saying, call it Evo Cy Young. Hey, I'm not going to question you. I'm not going to question Evo Cy Young. Evo, with him, it's going to be health. Like, Evo seems to always miss like a week or two at some point. They skip him in the rotation. You just wonder, is Evo going to stay off the IL completely? But look, why not? Why not Evo? We'll see what happens. It's a long season, man. But Evo or DeGrom winning Cy Young, that'd be pretty special. That would be real special. Rangers today, the box score, there's not a lot to talk about. Marcus Semien gets a hit. Jock Peterson gets a hit. And I believe Jock Peterson's hit was like a little nubber that Ellie De La Cruz couldn't quite handle at shortstop. So not really a hit at all. Josh Smith did have himself a big day, I think, all over. The catch that he made going over the shoulder, did y'all see that? That was a phenomenal catch over the shoulder by Josh Smith going back out into the outfield. You can probably picture that. Beautiful, beautiful catch. You got to go back and watch the highlight of that. And then Josh Smith with the game-winning RBI. No hitter has an extra base hit against a 100-plus mile-an-hour pitch this year. Now Josh Smith does with that double that he absolutely mashed to left center field. So Josh Smith, the only hitter in Major League Baseball with an extra base hit against 100-plus mile-an-hour heat. Glad to have Josh Smith, especially with the Josh Young injury, with Corey Seager needing a little bit more time. I mean, that ball was smoked, and Hunter Green was dealing today. That is something I think if you want to play devil's advocate a little bit with the offense, Hunter Green being on the mound does make, I think, a pretty big difference in the conversation. Like, he is a really, really good pitcher. I don't know if I would say that about the first two pitchers that we faced in this series, but look, Hunter Green, he's good. I don't think that we need to knock him down, demean how good Hunter Green is. He's a great pitcher. So maybe you throw that into the fire a little bit. Hey, it's Hunter Green, one of the better pitchers in baseball. We're able to get the win, get out of town on a happy flight back to Arlington. We'll take it. I think that's got to be your mentality, but a lot of us, still quietly concerned. Some of us not so quietly concerned about the offense, wanting to see him get going. All right, more stuff. Kason Cunningham, projected draft pick for Texas. I'll check him out. Richard, thanks for the rec. I'll definitely check it out. I'm definitely getting more into the whole prospect search and looking up more of the top prospects in baseball. Right on Rangers has really got me into it. Before, I never paid a whole lot of attention to guys in the minor leagues, but now that I'm kind of doing this quite a bit, hanging out, talking baseball with y'all, I found myself a lot more interested in the prospects in the draft, the mock drafts, the minors. It's fun. I actually have really enjoyed it. It kind of gives you something more to do with your night after the Rangers games are over, following along with Frisco and Round Rock. I like it. I don't know if my wife does the extra time that I'm spending watching minor league baseball, but Shoot, I'll turn it on if there's nothing else going on. It's great. So we've got, I think, a couple of games going on later this week. Frisco, I know, is going to get started. I want to say on Friday is Frisco's first game. They haven't been playing yet. So we haven't seen like Ortiz or we haven't seen a lot of those minor league guys, Walcott, who were down in AA. Haven't seen them get started yet. So Friday, I believe, AA gets going. So that'll be great. We know that AAA is in full swing. Evan Carter still having a bit of a rough go in AAA, by the way. I know I've started to post an update on how Evan Carter's doing night by night. And I know some people are getting in their feelings a little bit, like, come on, give him a month. Why are you reporting the facts on how Evan Carter's doing? Look, I don't get it. Some people are just going to complain to complain. I'm interested in how Evan Carter's doing. I want to see how he's doing night to night. Last night, 0 for 4 with 3 Ks, by the way. 1 away from the golden sombrero. Don't know what he's doing tonight. So needless to say, we're not going to sit here and rail on Evan. He's trying to figure some things out. But I'll continue to update you. Don't know if Round Rock's actually playing right now. Let's see how Evan Carter's doing, if he's in fact playing right now. Richard's supposed to go see Round Rock in a couple weeks. Hopefully he catches fire. Be outstanding. 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a strikeout. Evan Carter currently hitting a robust 067 in AAA. 067. Yikes. Justin Foscue hitting 368. He just singled on a fly ball to center field. I got the game day up going for this game. Round Rock's playing Toledo tonight. 1-0. Evan Carter on the base pass right now after the walk. So 0 for 2 tonight. Don't know what the outs were, but safe to say Evan Carter's still figuring it out. Hopefully he catches fire, Richard, by the time you get down there. That sure would be nice. Let's see. Harry says, I think we have to be giving all of these guys, including Carter, more than 2.5 weeks to start looking like themselves. Look, I do think that's a very valuable perspective. Harry, appreciate the comment. I don't think that any of us, at least the people that I interact with on here, love all y'all. I don't think anybody is being overly harsh, but look, you don't love to see Evan Carter going 0 for every night. And most nights, that is what he's been doing. It's only been 4 or 5 games. No, I don't think we need to rush to any huge conclusion on Evan Carter. I think you state the obvious. He's just not quite himself yet. And like Harry said, that's going to take some time. I do love the timeline, though. 2.5 weeks. And I think Evan's right at about a week now in terms of games. Round Rock, this is their 5th game. So you're talking about probably giving him 8, 9 more games before you really maybe start to panic a little bit more. So let's give it till Round Rock's 13th, 14th game before we jump to any harsh conclusions. But I'll definitely keep y'all updated. And right now, Evan Carter still trying to find his groove. And that's okay. That's why he's down in the minor leagues. I think the start kind of confirms the decision to leave him down there. Clearly, he needs to figure some things out, and this is a much lower pressure environment. If Evan Carter was going 0 for every single night for Texas, you'd have some people asking for him to start sitting the bench, asking for him to be sent down. So it's probably for the best that move was made. And we'll see what happens. We'll give it a few more games before we really start worrying. I agree. He's young. Evan Carter's 20. He's going to turn 22 or 23 years old this year. I mean, the dude's still figuring it out. I do think give him some time. He'll come around. Right now, I think really where it comes from me is you just want to see Evan Carter do well. He's such a likable guy. I love Evan Carter. Love everything that he stands for. Think he's a great dude. I think bringing up the struggles, it's more coming from a place for me of I just feel for the guy and want to see him so badly succeed. I would have loved for Evan Carter to have killed it in spring training and to have been up on the big league squad. Just a super likable dude. So don't ever take the updates that I give on EC as, me trying to stir the pot. It's actually the opposite. It's like, I just feel bad for the dude. I want to see him do well. And I'm glad to see that a lot of y'all have the confidence that he's going to figure it out. I really do feel that way too. It just sucks that you got to go through the struggle sometime. That is the game of baseball. Shoot, that's life, right? Sometimes you got to go through the struggles before you get to the good stuff. So hoping that is true with EC. Absolutely. Harry, this is good stuff to add into, especially with Carter changing his swing, coming off a series back injury. Yeah, I agree. Hard to hold him to the 2023 September, October standards. So we'll give EC a little bit more time. If he doesn't make it up to the bigs until next season, it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Good perspective. That is true. If we don't see Evan Carter again this year, I think that's probably okay. He'll be back, like I said, only 22 years of age right now. If that. Yeah, he definitely has a long runway, Evan Carter does. I mean, look, a guy like Jack Leiter, let's just be honest. A guy like Jack that pitched all the way through college. Evan Carter was a guy right out of high school, right? And a guy that goes through entire college career. Jack Leiter's at a little bit of a different spot. You're in your mid-20s and franchises are kind of expecting you to start contributing. Evan Carter, age 22, right? He doesn't turn 23 until August, late August. So next year, coming into spring training, Evan will be 23 years old. Yeah, dude's got a long runway. Long runway. So we'll see how Evan progresses throughout the year. I am cheering for him. Love that dude. I know a lot of y'all do too. I mean, yeah, going to Jack Leiter. Jack's 24 right now, so even Jack is young. I thought Jack was 25 at least based on pitching a few years at Vandy. Even Jack, 24, although birthday 25 is coming up. April 21st, Jack's birthday. He'll be 25 years old. Still 25, pretty young at that point. That makes me even feel a little bit better. Look, I don't got these guys' birthdays memorized. I feel a lot better seeing that. I mean, I thought Jack was probably at least 25, turning 26. When they get to those mid-upper 20s, you're starting to want to see your top draft picks contribute. So maybe patience is just the key. Jack had to go down to Arizona in the middle of the season, a couple seasons ago, and figure out some mechanics issues. So Evan Carter, we'll trust the process. We'll be patient. Sure would love to see that dude catch fire, though. No doubt. Yeah, he absolutely did well championship run. I think you got to see Evan Carter as such a huge piece for that first World Series, don't you? I mean, without EC, I don't know if they win the World Series. Dude was such a spark plug for us at times, especially when they started slotting him up at the top of the order. Man, I just still, the dream for me, having Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford up at the top of the order, like both those dudes just raking in the top spots. That's going to be a beautiful thing, Rangers Nation, a beautiful thing. All right, we keep going. Let me start doing a little preview of what we're going to be seeing over the weekend. So we know we got the Rays for a 3-game set. I don't think, by the way, just to close out what we saw today, we didn't talk about Jacob Webb. Great outing from him, from Jacob Webb today. Really didn't love Leiter getting pulled until I found out about the blister. So when Webb came in, you're kind of thinking, man, Webb better have a shutdown inning here if you're going to pull Leiter with how he's pitching. Didn't know at that time Leiter had the blister going on. But Jacob Webb comes in, gets the shutdown inning. Loved that. We talked about Robert Garcia, 2.45 ERA. Garcia's looking good. Martin being Martin, still hasn't given up a run on the year. Luke Jackson slowly bringing that ERA down. 3rd save of the season. Quietly, probably up there among the tops in the league in saves. No big deal, Luke Jackson. And then Rangers offense, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, look, Smith, Peterson with the weak little dribbler he had to shortstop, and Simeon. I mean, those are the only hits, y'all. So I think we can chalk this one up to outstanding gem by Jack Leiter, followed up by a strong performance by the bullpen. let's start getting into the series starting up over the weekend. So Rays, Friday night, tomorrow, off day. Let's see if we've got any pitching matchups. Let's check this out. Friday, we'll have another City Connect day. I heard, by the way, did we talk about how this is the last year of the Peagle? Did y'all read that too? I'm interested to see what they go with. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You guys see what I got right now. I love the City Connects. Y'all tell me, look, we can agree to disagree. No big deal. I know everybody's got different taste. I love the City Connects. I love this logo right here. I love the Peagle. I think it's awesome. I'm a little surprised that they want to change it up. Hopefully what they come up with is equally cool. I wouldn't mind bringing back the red, Joe. I'm kind of with you on that. I would love to see them bring back the red a little bit more. I don't know if they can work that into the City Connects at all. I think it's tough because, the Angels wear the red. Look, I'm old school. The Rangers, when they wore the red in the late 90s, early 2000s, I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I think that's why maybe they went away from it. But, man, I really love the Peagle. I love this logo. So I'm going to be very curious to see what they come up with. But back to the weekend series, we'll see the City Connects on Friday. Looks like Littell and Malley are going. Littell for Tampa Bay. I think we beat up Littell last time out. Might be wrong on that. Higashioka's got a bomb off Littell. Seager, that's right. I remember that Seager blast off Littell last year. Seager's hitting 600 off Littell, the Rays starter for Friday. Leote hitting 2 for 3 with a bomb off Littell. Beyond that, let's see. We've got Jonah Heim, 3 for 4. So, I don't know. Maybe you go Heim catching and you go Higgy DH. Is Josh Young probably going to be back for that game? You know what? I think I did the math, and Josh Young is probably not going to be back till the Cubs series. Cubs are who we're playing next. We'll go to Chicago after this home series. And I think Josh Young, if you're doing the math, should be back for that Chicago series early next week in the Windy City. So I'd imagine that we see probably, I don't know, that's going to be a tough call for Bruce Bochy. Jonah Heim, maybe they go Higgy, since I believe Heim caught today. We'll see what happens. Wyatt Langford, 2 for 2 off Littell. So, hey, some of the top 5 hitters for the Rangers have had some success off this dude. Littell had a pretty nice outing to start the season. Looking at his first start of the year, he went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run, and took the loss. Sounds like he's got the same issues that some of the Rangers pitchers have had. They've just been a little bit better in giving up 0 runs. Littell, you pitch 6 innings, 1 earned run, the Tampa Bay starter for Friday, and you get the loss. That was against Colorado. Wowza. All right, so Littell pitching well, but we'll see what he can do against some of these Rangers players that have some decent numbers off him. Not a lot of Rays players have faced Tyler Malley. You have Morrill with a 1 for 2, and then Danny Jansen. He is 0 for 1. So 3 combined at bats for the entire Rays roster against Tyler Malley. Really, really interested to see how Malley responds after a rough outing to start the season over the weekend against the Red Sox. Hope that Tyler Malley bounces back in a big way. Would love to see him go out there, throw 5-6 quality innings. So that is the matchup for Friday's game. Let's keep going. Let's look at Saturday, Sunday, if anything has been announced. Saturday is going to be Taj Bradley, another good pitcher. Taj Bradley versus DeGrom. So get those tickets for Saturday. I'm telling y'all, go see Jacob DeGrom as much as you can. Dude's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Go watch that dude pitch as much as you possibly can. And then Rocker is going to be going on Sunday against Rasmussen. A lot of these Rays pitchers have good numbers. Every Rays pitcher that's throwing against us this weekend had a really good first outing. Rocker, Malley, 2 guys that did not have a great first outing of the season. So you're looking to see some bounce back from some of these Ranger starters. I can imagine DeGrom is going to be DeGrom, but very curious to see what we get from Tyler Mahle and from Kumar Rocker the second time through. John says the Peagle leaving sucks, but it just means I have to get a new hat. Love that attitude. Absolutely love that attitude. And I'll be looking forward to getting the new City Connect as well, whatever it may be. Look, there's not many hats that I'll say no to. I will say this. I was not in love with the All-Star hats last year. Anybody want to discuss the AL All-Star hats last year? I was not a fan. But I like a little bit of the darker tones, I must admit. That AL All-Star Game hat, just not my style. Not my style. Maybe some of y'all loved it. You'll have to go look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But the AL All-Star Game hat was just not my thing last year. But I'll probably be all over the City Connects if I had to guess. Hey, Zachary, appreciate that compliment, bro. Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Love all y'all. Thanks for the comments, the questions. Y'all keep this show entertaining for me. Y'all keep me wanting to come back and do it, so thank you. Yeah, Mike, I got to agree. They're going to have a really hard time topping the Peagle. Look, it's a little polarizing. I feel like you go on to some online forums, some Rangers chats, and some people are really not a fan of the Peagle and the City Connects. I love it. I think it's cool to create something new. Like, so much in our world today at times I feel like is recycled. Like, you got people in the music industry constantly recycling hooks and old songs. Look, it's tough creating something brand new. And I love what they did with the City Connects, trying to be different and create something original. I think they actually did a really good job with it. So it's going to be tough to top. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. No doubt. No doubt. See, that's what I mean. Some people think they're terrible. I don't know how you come to that conclusion. Look, it's nothing but love. Disagreements, y'all know that's the last thing that bothers me. We ain't going to agree on everything, but I see a whole lot worse City Connects when I look around the rest of the league. Like, there are some teams, and they're just terrible. Like, what were you doing when you decided that this was going to be the flair that you add to the uniforms? I don't get some of them, but I think the Rangers actually did a pretty nice job. We keep going. Going for the Peagle bobblehead on Friday. Is it Peagle bobblehead on Friday? Man, whenever y'all tell me about the giveaways, like, please keep doing so. Don't get me wrong. But whenever y'all tell me about the giveaways, I'm like, it makes me miss living in Arlington, where I grew up, because I would love to go to games like this where they got the giveaway. Hey, let's go to the game early, maybe do a little tailgate, and let's get in line, make sure we get the giveaway, whatever it was, the jersey or the bobblehead. Man, y'all are making me miss the good old days, the simpler times. Yeah, Peagle bobblehead on Friday. What else? Retro 8-bit hoodie on Saturday. What's that all about? Retro 8-bit hoodie. Let's check this out. I'm looking at it right now, y'all. Okay. Oh, so it's like a jersey hoodie. I get it now. It's like a what would that be called? Like, not a jersey. I don't know. That's one I'm gonna have to percolate on a little bit, but it's like a jersey hoodie. And then let's see what else. Actually, that baby blue cutoff looks pretty nice. It's like a baby blue, like, short sleeve hoodie. Actually looks pretty good. Look, I'm looking at this Peagle bobblehead right now. That thing looks freaking legit. I would love to have that Peagle bobblehead 100%. Wyatt Langford is getting a bobblehead, and he's like on a bike. Is that what I'm seeing right now? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just getting lost in all these promotions. Bruce Bochy has a bobblehead from the championship parade in the back of his truck. That's what's up. Man, fun times. Now I'm just missing being in Arlington. Let's see. Josh Young baseball card bobblehead is on April 15th. There's another good one. Man, they've got some great ones. Josh Young World Series ring, April 29th. Y'all better book that one. Josh Young World Series ring on April 29th. My goodness. How old is the Peagle? Yeah, look, Peagle is kind of a blend of all of a couple of different components. The origins are unclear. I think at this point, it kind of is a blend between what the Panthers, Fort Worth Panthers, and the Dallas Eagles, right? And that predated the Rangers' arrival in 1972. So I think that's where the Peagle originated, right? The combination between the Panthers and the Eagles. So it's not something that's old at all. Not something old at all. Yeah, it's right. It's their City Connect uni. And they, I think, came up with the concept to try and bridge those two. At least that's my understanding. Let me know if I'm wrong on that, y'all. I thought that was an original concept and they were just paying homage to the Panthers and the Eagles that predated the Rangers arriving in Arlington. I thought that was kind of the whole thing. So for me, again, going back to what I said earlier, I just love the originality. Would have been easy to just recycle something. Instead, they tried to create something new. And I think it turned out pretty cool. Wyatt one is for his cycle. Andy, appreciate that. Look, it's been a long day, y'all. I should have got that one. I really should have got that one. I'm a little slow at the end of a long work day. Y'all got to forgive me. I should have had that one. So Wyatt's got a cycle bobblehead. How about that? I'm downloading this promotion schedule right now, and I'm going to look at all the cool ones. This is much easier. Jacob deGrom replica jersey on July 1st. Corey Seager bobblehead with audio on August 11th. Adrian Beltre replica statue August 23rd. Jock Peterson replica September 9th. Sugar Skull bobblehead, that would be pretty sweet, on September 20th. Elvis Andrus retirement bobblehead on June 28th. That one's going to be a popular one. Elvis retirement bobblehead. Wyatt cycle bobblehead is on May 12th. Bochy bobblehead from the parade is May 27th. Man, there are some good ones. Now I want to make it down to Arlington to get to one of these, no doubt. That's a good question. Zach, that's a good question. The question was, is the Seager audio going to be like the home run? I think that would be a pretty good one. High drive, it's tied. Right? That one would be pretty sweet. That one would be freaking awesome if it was the home run call from game one. It's almost like, what else could it be? Like, what else would you really want? I think you want the high drive, it's tied 100%. Absolutely. All right, y'all. We're just a little bit under an hour here. It's pretty good. Time flies when you're having fun, as they say. Look, the way we're doing it, I know I say this every time, but we get new people coming in every once in a while. Just want everybody to know the drill. We absolutely will go live at the end of every series, so we'll be back, no doubt, on Sunday. That being said, I will probably be live either Friday or Saturday, one or the other. If I'm not live, I think y'all have been catching on. I go live with the posts throughout the game. I post live reaction on Facebook, on X. I'm on Blue Sky now. I went ahead. Look, I got an app that posts to everything at the same time, so it's really nice. And then I'm on Instagram Threads as well. So if you want my reaction live during the game, you want to have a little conversation while the game's going on, join me on one of those socials. Right on Rangers is the handle on every single one. Again, that's X, Facebook, Instagram Threads, Blue Sky, whatever you prefer. Hey, the more the merrier. So if you want some in-game reaction, you want to shoot the breeze while the game's going on, join me over there. But Friday or Saturday, one of the two nights, I'll probably be live. It'll be a little game dependent, right? You know, who wants to go Who wants to watch a live about a game the Rangers lose 14-3? I think the in-game commentary was good enough on that one. But we'll be a little bit picky-choosy. Look, I'm not going to be afraid to get on after a loss. Don't take it the wrong way. But I'm going to be a little bit more selective this year. But I'm sure we'll probably end up doing over 100 games with post-game coverage by the time all is said and done. And I appreciate the support. Like, thank you so much to the people that have followed. I know I've gotten a bunch of followers on TikTok over the last week or so since the baseball season has started up. Thank you so much. Same for YouTube. Hey, you know a Rangers fan, you know a diehard, please share one of my videos with them, right? Send them something. Get them over here so they can be a part of the conversation. I'd love to keep growing this good group of people we got talking ball, talking Rangers baseball. Love it. Well, hey, Thursday tomorrow, we're getting to the end of the week, heading into the weekend. Oh, yeah. And hopefully the Rangers can go 3 for 3 in terms of series wins. Rays are no slouch, but you got to feel good about the momentum, the positive momentum the Rangers have. Yes, the offense needs to pick it up, but I'm going into this weekend feeling pretty good. That offense gets going, look out. Look out. Appreciate the comments. Mike, thank you so much. All the compliments, y'all. Look, humbling. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. Sam, yes, sir. Leiter, hopefully unlocked for the entire season. Wouldn't that be something if Jack can give you, like I said, sub-4 ERA, maybe around a 3.5 ERA? Are we getting too greedy? That would be huge. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of the Wednesday night. Good week ahead. Enjoy the off day tomorrow. We'll be back over the weekend for the Rays series. Love y'all. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.